Hey, Chris Liepe here with the mixed voice plus distortion problem and how to fix it. Now, if there's one thing I've learned from singing Alice in Chains, you better sing Alice in Chains like you. Because nobody's going to sing it like Lane. And if you try to sing it like Lane, you might as well just start smashing raw egg all over your face. Be you. That really is the first tip to mixed voice with distortion. Because we hear other singers do it. And then we try to imitate what they do rather than learning the tone and placement of our own mixed voice and then adding distortion over the top. This is a key mindset shift that we have to make if we're going to be successful using mixed voice and distortion. Gritty mixed voice, thick mixed voice, any of these things. I also need to say that if you can't support your voice properly, if you don't understand what it means to sing freely without tension, to sing throughout your range without your throat tensing up, you won't be able to do anything that I'm going to be talking about in this video. Click the link below and join my free voice course, and I'll show you how to dial in your support and the fundamentals so that you can start working powerfully and gritty throughout your whole range. So we've talked about singing with distortion as a product of compression, right? Lifting something heavy. Hey, I'm going to lift this desk. And I'm going to place that sensation of holding back the air as high as I possibly can in my throat. I've done lots of videos on that, and it's a great way to get into distortion. But the issue comes when we take the posture of chest voice distortion. Hey, okay, I got it. And then we try to push higher. Hey, like the muscles just don't go that way. And so we can't follow. If we get a nice distorted note in our chest voice using compression, it's awfully hard to follow that up. And at the same time, when we figure out how to resonate in a mixed way, oh, I'm real high. Well, when we try to do the lifting something heavy there, add compression to our mixed voice, it just doesn't work. We can't simply apply okay, start holding back air with the area above your throat with the mix coordination, particularly the dying cat mix coordination that many of you have grown to learn from the channel. The fix lies in embracing your vocal break in a very specific way. You might say, that sounds weird. I'm pursuing my mixed voice so that I don't have to break. Like, isn't that the whole point of mixed voice? Well, no. If you try to get to mixed voice by eliminating your vocal break, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, you have trouble getting into a powerful or a distorted mix. A lot of people do that by doing this. You know, like I have no break, and I can go from chest voice to head voice. I'm backing off on the airflow, partially. This is part of what I'm doing, and part of what a lot of people do. They back off on the airflow and support right as they feel themselves about to cross their break. But if we do the opposite And when we feel ourselves start to break, we go into it. And I've talked about the vocal break in a lot of ways as being helpful for screaming. This isn't necessarily screaming, it's just gritty mixed voice, but the same sort of principles can apply. If we lean into it instead of shying away, initially it's going to be like this. This really ugly thing that happens. Even in my voice, as I'm doing that, you can hear these tiny, if you isolate these little microseconds, you can hear these interesting nuggets of blending happening. So, if we want to get a gritty, mixed voice, we have to learn to first place our mix clean. Hear my voice quivering and breaking? Now think about that high mixed note. Think about it being pure, and then add that sensation of your voice breaking to it. Yay! Yay! There it is. Ooh, it's this constant dance between clean, and letting your voice fall into what it feels like to crack. As you're trying this, especially if you're trying it for the first time, you may very well go, this doesn't work. I can't do it. You throw your hands up right away. I understand. It is really, really hard to embrace something like, oh, I finally hit the note! Clean! And now I'm going to let myself intentionally fall apart and break over it. I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how to fall apart once I've got clean. It takes a lot of practice, and I can help you with that. I have lots of exercises in my course that help us expose this kind of thing. So be patient with yourself and don't try it a couple times. I can't find my break. I'm done. Don't do that. Be patient with yourself and try doing this at all different points of your range. Try going just above where your break would be. And then let yourself fall apart into your break. You're kind of falling down into it because your break is below where that mixed note is. Oh, I'm dialing it in. Sometimes it's a little too breaky. Hey! Ooh, there we go! Yay! The other kind of cool thing is that we can moderate how much broken upness we want, right? So if I want to go, yeah! Hey! That's just a little bit of grit. But if I want to really let my break be exposed and teeter in there, hey! Yay! There's some neat things you can do as you're playing with that balance. And now a final tip. Don't let yourself get locked into one way to feel distortion or one way to feel mix. There's lots of ways and lots of placements that can help you enter mix. And I've covered those in lots of other videos and lots of other places. I don't want to get into all that here. But the point is, whenever you are static in your approach, you get locked. You get locked up and you're unable to be rangy, whether you finally found that one mixed note or whether you finally found that distortion tone you like. If you try to stick to that and move it around your range, your distortion, move it around your range in the same way, or you try to move your mixed voice around in a certain way, we lose the fact that for both to be successful across your entire range, you have to dynamically resonate and dynamically place, sometimes vowel by vowel, word by word, syllable by syllable. And that's one thing that Lane Staley was incredibly good at. And what I've learned from him to a large degree. Let's listen to my performance of Rooster, that little portion that you heard at the beginning. Notice how my voice and my sound changes a lot. You know, there will be one that has tons of distortion, one that's a little thinner, one that's sort of nasally sounding, one that's not nasally sounding, distortion that's that's really falling apart and distortion that's just a little bit gritty. By practicing going all over the place and doing lots of different things with your voice, even in one little phrase, you free it up. You don't get lost in the tension of trying to keep your voice in one certain sound. That's a huge, huge problem for a lot of people. Let's listen. Here they come to snuff the rooster. Hear that? Rooster. Here, I brought that back just a little bit. It's subtle. Rooster. Oh, yeah. Now notice I let myself break up a little bit more towards the end of that. Oh, yeah. I just let that happen rather than trying to control the note. As I was flirting with my break, like I'd instructed you earlier in this lesson, it got a little too, but that's okay. It ended up working fine. It ended up actually sounding really cool. Here comes the rooster. Yeah. Ooh, that was a huge one. Now that was a good chest voice, breakup. Yeah. Yeah. He ain't gonna die. Listen how he changes. He ain't gonna die. I was very crowish, very nasal at the beginning of this phrase, and then let my resonance transfer sort of out of my nose towards the end. This helps you with your mixed voice and distortion because you're dynamically placing. No! Now that's a mixed note for me. No! But here... No! Getting that balance of leaning into that falling apart with your break. Oh, no, he ain't gonna die. Again, right there, that's something that Lane does so well. Die. I moved that around. Die. It's not just die or die. That movement, die, creates that interest, and it keeps me from being tense because I'm open to anything and open to experimenting and moving around. Huge, huge, huge. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and thank you so much for engaging in my videos and asking questions, and that's the reason this video was made, because of your guys' questions. Again, if you want more specific help with your voice, dialing some of this stuff in, the best place to start with me is by joining my free course linked in the video description. We'll see you for more.